Hi, this is Aditya from Just Tutors, and this is a sequel to our previous video on motion and measures of distances. However, in this video, we are going to learn about the types of motion. So today we have just one subtopic to cover, that will be the types of motion performed by different objects around us. As you can see in this picture right here, a train has been shown moving on a railway track. Try to think about the motion that it performs while moving on the track. We'll also be thinking about the different ways we see things moving around us. We can take the example of the hands of a clock, which move around the clock throughout the day. The second hand, the hour hand, and the minute hand, they move with different speeds around the clock throughout the day. You can also think about the different vehicles moving around you, or you can also consider the ceiling fan above your head in your room. Think about the motion that the blades of the ceiling fan perform. So now we are going to learn about the different types of motion performed by bodies around us. The first one on the list is rectilinear motion. We've got circular motion and then periodic motion as well. So let's learn about rectilinear motion first. So a straight line motion is basically referred to as rectilinear motion. Whenever a body is moving in a straight line path, it is said to be performing rectilinear motion. Now you can take any two particles on the moving body. If the two particles travel the same distance along two parallel straight lines, we can say that the object is performing rectilinear motion. Now one such example is right here in this picture. Now this body has been translated from one position to another. We have taken into account two particles onto this body. Now as you can see, these particles have moved the same distance along a straight line, and these lines are parallel to one another. So we can conclude that this object is in rectilinear motion. Take a look at the second picture here. Now here we have a candle and an observer, and there are three screens in between the two. Now these screens have got orifices. We can see the light ray reflecting from the candle and meeting the eye of the observer. Now take a look at the trajectory of the light ray. You can say that the light ray is moving in a straight line or on a rectilinear path. So we can say that light travels in a straight line or it performs rectilinear motion. Next up is circular motion. Now as the name suggests, whenever an object moves on a circular path or maybe along the circumference of a circle, we can say that the object is performing circular motion. Now this motion can be uniform with constant angular rate of rotation. Now when we talk about angular rate of rotation, it is referring to the angular velocity of the body. Now this can be covered with a constant speed in uniform motion, or when we talk about non-uniform motion, this rate can change as well. Now we can take a look at the two pictures right here. The first one is about a car moving along the circumference of a circle, and the second one is we can take into account the attachments at the end of the Ferris wheel, which are also performing circular motion. Now third one on the list is periodic motion. Now in terms of physics, whenever motion is repeated in equal intervals of time, we call it periodic motion. Now you can think about the motion of a rocking chair or a bouncing ball, or maybe a swing in motion. Now one of the perfect and accurate examples of periodic motion would be the rotation of Earth around its own axis, or maybe the revolution of Earth around the Sun. The Earth completes one rotation in 24 hours and one revolution in 365 days. So rotation and revolution of Earth both are example of periodic motion. You can also consider the revolution of Earth around the Sun to be a circular motion as well. Try to think about how these two motions are different from rectilinear motion. Now it's time for some practice, so you can pause the video and attempt the questions on the screen. So the first question is, what are the differences between motion of a fan and a car when started? So take into account the blades of a fan. Now we all know that the blades move in a circular motion, and the car can exhibit any kind of motion. It can be periodic, rectilinear or circular. It can move in a straight line or on a circular path and also tread along a zigzag path. Now the second one is about the similarities in the motion of a fan and a car. Now one such similarity would be the blades of a fan perform circular motion and so does the wheels of a car. Moving ahead, you can again pause the video and attempt the question. Now in this one you have to tell which type of motion has been shown in the picture. So you can take a look at the path along which the object is moving in the picture. It is very clear that the object is moving along a circular path, so we can say that it's in circular motion. Now here we have to provide examples for each one of these. So we have learned about all the three kinds of motion. Try to think about examples of these three kinds of motion. Take a look at the picture right here and think about the kind of motion performed by water particles along this wall. So that will be all for today. Thanks for watching. Please visit justtutors.com for more.